What if I told you that in my family, every firstborn daughter dies at exactly 27 years old? No exceptions, no survivors. For 5 generations. My name is Sarah. I just turned 26 years and 8 months old. And I have 4 months left to break a curse that no one in my family can explain. Or 4 months left to die like all the others. This is not fiction. This is my bloodline. And the clock is ticking. If you believe some families carry darkness in their blood, stay with me. Because what I discovered about my family's past will make you question everything you know about coincidence. It started at my grandmother's funeral 3 years ago. I was 23, grieving and going through her belongings when I found a leather journal hidden in a locked drawer. Inside were names, dates, and a pattern that made my blood run cold. Margaret Hayes, born April 3rd, 1901, died April 3rd, 1928, age 27. First daughter, Elizabeth Hayes, born June 12, 1925, died June 12, 1952, age 27. First daughter, Catherine Hayes, born February 8, 1950, died February 9, 1977, age 27. First daughter, Diana Hayes, born September 15, 1974, died September 15, 2001, age 27. First daughter, all firstborn daughters, all dead at 27, most on their exact birthday. But here's what made me drop the journal. At the bottom of the page, in my grandmother's shaky handwriting, were 2 more names. Jessica Hayes, born November 2nd, 1996, died November 2nd, 2023, age 27. First daughter, my granddaughter, that's my cousin Jessica. She died 6 months before I found this journal. Car accident on her 27th birthday. Everyone said it was tragic coincidence. And below her name, one final entry. Sarah Hayes, born March 19, 1998. First daughter. Next, that's me. And March 19th, 2025 is 4 months away. I became really obsessed. I started digging into my family history and calling distant relatives, searching through old records. And the stories I uncovered and read were horrifying. Margaret, the first one, died in childbirth on her 27th birthday. But here's the strange part. 3 different people at the hospital reported seeing a woman in old-fashioned clothes standing in the corner of the delivery room. When they turned to look directly at her, she vanished. Elizabeth drowned in a lake. Witnesses said she was swimming normally one moment, and suddenly started screaming about hands pulling her down. The water was only 4 feet deep. Strong swimmer. No logical explanation. Catherine died in a house fire, and the fire inspector's report noted something unusual. The fire started in her bedroom, but there was no electrical fault, no candles, nothing, just spontaneous combustion, and her body was found in a position suggesting she was trying to escape something in the room, not the fire itself. And Diana, my own mother, died in what was ruled a suicide. But I was 4 years old, and I remember that night. I remember her screaming, "She won't leave me alone. She's been following me for weeks." My father told everyone it was postpartum depression, but I remember seeing a shadow in the corner of her room that night. A shadow that looked like a woman. And Jessica, my cousin. The car accident happened on an empty road in broad daylight. Her car swerved violently, witnesses said, like she was trying to avoid hitting someone. But there was no one there. The dash cam footage shows her screaming and jerking the wheel. At nothing. I finally tracked down my great-great-aunt Rose. She's 94 years old, living in a nursing home, and she's the only person old enough to remember the family stories that were never written down. When I mentioned the curse, her face went pale. "So you found out," she whispered. I was hoping it had ended, that it was over. She told me a story that nobody talks about. A story about our ancestor, Abigail Hayes, from 1874. Abigail was the first daughter of our bloodline. She fell in love with a man from the village, but her father forbade the marriage because the man was poor. Instead, her father arranged for her to marry a wealthy merchant she didn't love. The night before her wedding, Abigail tried to run away with her true love, but her father caught them. In his rage, he killed the young man in front of Abigail. Abigail was devastated, broken, and on what should have been her wedding day, she walked into the forest and was never seen alive again. They found her body 3 days later, hanging from a tree. She was 27 years old. But here's what Aunt Rose said that made my skin crawl. Before she died, witnesses said Abigail stood at the edge of the forest and screamed a curse on her father's bloodline. She said that every first daughter would feel her pain. Every first daughter would know her suffering. And every first daughter would join her at 27. Rose grabbed my hand with surprising strength. "Sarah, you have to understand. Abigail's father didn't just kill her lover. He killed her. Her death was because of him. And now she takes the first daughters as revenge against the bloodline that destroyed her." That conversation was 2 weeks ago. Since then, things have gotten worse. I started seeing her, a woman in old-fashioned clothes, standing at the edge of my vision. When I turn to look, she's gone. I hear whispers at night, a woman's voice saying, "Soon, almost time. You'll understand soon." Objects in my apartment move. I wake up to find my bedroom door open when I know I locked it. Sometimes I find wet footprints leading from my bathroom to my bed, even though I live alone. 3 nights ago, I woke up at 3 a.m. to find all the lights in my apartment on, and every mirror covered with condensation. Written in the condensation on my bathroom mirror were the words, "March 19th, join us. My friends think I'm losing my mind." My father refuses to talk about it, just like he refused to believe my mother was being haunted. I've tried everything. Priests won't help because they say generational curses aren't real. Psychologists say it's anxiety manifesting as paranoia. Paranormal investigators are interested but can't do anything until the entity becomes more active. But I know what's happening. Abigail is coming for me, just like she came for all the others. I've been researching ways to break curses, bloodline cleansing, ancestral healing, confronting the source. But nothing feels right. Nothing feels like it will work. And now I only have 4 months left. 4 months to find a way to break a 150-year-old curse. 4 months to survive what no first daughter in my family has survived. I'm documenting everything, recording every incident. If I don't make it to March 20th, at least people will know the truth. But here's the worst part, the part that keeps me up at night. My younger sister just told me she's pregnant. The ultrasound shows it's a girl, her first daughter. If I don't break this curse, my niece is next. The clock is ticking. The shadow is getting closer, and I'm running out of time. My name is Sarah Hayes. I'm 26 years and 8 months old, and I'm either going to break this curse or become its next victim. Subscribe to find out if Sarah survives. Like if this gave you chills. Comment. Do you believe in bloodline curses? Turn on notifications. I'll update you on that soon. Part 2 coming soon. The ritual that might save me.